Yay! The new long spring suspension system springs have arrived. We're going to install those, make sure that they give the proper lift that we were asking for. They have 9 leaves versus 6 in the other high performance springs. So we got the 9 leaves because they're definitely going to ride softer. We're going to put those in today. We should be able to get those in. Probably take us about 2 hours. 2 people, 2 hours to get it done. I'm sure if you're working in your driveway or whatever, it might take a little bit longer. Plus, we've done this multiple times. But hang in there. We're going to show you the new springs. Then after we get the springs in, we make sure that they're at the right height. Then we'll show you a few custom things that you have to do in order to get the front drive shaft to fit, because it's a long travel front drive shaft from Tom Woods. It allows for 11-12 inches of travel, and the transmission cross member does not have the clearance for that, so we'll clearance that also. Show you how to do these things. Can't wait to get this item on the market. It's going to be by far the best riding, best performing front spring system that you can get for your full-size Jeep. Hang in there. These are the springs that just came from Alkin Spring. They're 53 inches long from eye to eye when the spring is straight. The center pin is the normal center pin distance from the front, and with our front shackle reversal, this should provide about 5.5 inches of lift. So we're going to take the temporary springs out that we have in there and put them in. Okay, we've been doing some work on the shop truck. Recently put a brake booster on there and a brake master cylinder. I don't care what you do, there's no easy way to put a brake booster in. It's just a nightmare either way. Jeep used lock nuts, tapered lock nuts on it, so it's really hard to keep a wrench on there. Not only that, but then they had, some of them had a 9/16 bolt on a 3/8 stud, and then other ones had a 15mm bolt on a 3/8 stud. So they're all kind of wackiness in there. It busted my knuckles up, it beat me to death. If you can afford it, have somebody else go through that misery for you and have somebody do it. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at the long spring front suspension. I'm going to be clearancing the transmission cross member for the front drive shaft. It's a pretty easy project. I'm going to show you how to do that. It'll also be in the instructions, of course. And we're going to install this Tom Woods drive shaft. Tom Woods makes a really good drive shaft, heavy duty, good quality, and cheaper than what you can have a local shop do it, because that's their business, that's what they do. Tom Woods built this better drive shaft than the local guys could, and for $130 less. I can add this to the purchase of the long spring suspension, or I can give you the data and you can have one made yourself, whatever you want to do. And just watch along. I'm going to pull the tires off here so that we can get a good look at the shock mount / bump stop and the suspension. Earthquake, baby! I don't even get my pneumatic tools out anymore. This is such a good tool. So let's dig into this a little bit. Alright, you can see the suspension's basically dropped out, it's hanging. Basically from this point to here, it's about 10 inches, and out at the wheel is closer to 12. Those are custom made shock brackets, and they also double as a bump stop. So when you get this kit, it'll come with that. It'll also come with the new links for your sway bar and a drop hitman arm, the FSR, and a new set of slider boxes. Still not sure if these bearings are going to wear well. If the bearings wear well, I think I'll keep the bearings. If not, I'll put nylon blocks in there. But either way, it looks real good. I mean, it's coming along. Let's get a look here at the area that we're going to be working on. Alright, there you go. If you see, there's a little divot right there. Right there, right there. In the cross member, it does hit. So I'm going to find out what the minimum amount that we need to cut and put a channel in there, weld it in. So my plan is to lift up the back of the transmission, pull this transmission cross member out and modify it. So let me get busy on that, and I'll show you the process. Alright, so now we're looking, we got the cross member off. Your cross member should look just like this, nice and clean, no grease or dirt on it. No, not really. It took me an hour practically to get all the crap off of this thing. No, it's going to have crap and junk all over it, so you definitely want to make sure that it's clean so it doesn't contaminate your welds. But we're basically going to enlarge this side, this divot here, to probably take it right down to this flat flange. I don't think we need to go any deeper than that. I mean, because it's pretty close to being where it needs to be, and then maybe go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to go ahead and get a cutoff wheel and start cutting into this, and then I'm going to use a 2.5-inch piece of square tube, cut it at an angle to fill that in. Alright, so watch. And yes, every inch of your Jeep is going to have grease and dirt on it. Alright, this is the final product here. So basically a piece of 2.5-inch by 3/16 square tubing is cut. That'll be part of the kit. That'll be welded in. Looks like this. Basically, when you get done, on the piece that you received with the kit will probably be, it'll give you extra material to, so it'll stick up a little bit maybe compared to the level position. You can either leave that on there, or you can kind of grind it flush like I did. It doesn't really matter one way or the other. But this will be probably the cleanest that it'll ever be again, with fresh paint. But that's what you're gonna get. This is the old piece that came out of there. It has the little divot in it. So basically, center up the new bracket or the cutout on there. Cut this out basically to the edge here, and it provides plenty of clearance. I mean, the axle's actually dropped out further now with the transfer case pushed up in order to get the cross member out. So this little modification here will give you the clearance that you need to run the long spring suspension with the long slip Tom Woods drive shaft. It's a nice setup, and I'm going to go ahead and load this all back together, keep driving the truck, see if I can find any more issues before we go to market. But I know there's a lot of interest on the forum, fullsizejeep.net, in regards to getting this kit out, because there's performance guys that are interested in the kit, plus just about anybody that's tired of riding in a harsh wooden wagon type of suspension has interest in this setup. So let me get this ready to go, get it posted up on the internet, and get it going. Hang in there.